Okay, that was been a little bit of a break, but we are back. Probably take my eyes are super sensitive lately, so I'm taking my lighting down a little bit. Okay, well, I guess we'll just jump right into it. I haven't been on so long, so we're just gonna jump right into it and see how long we last. I don't know if it's gonna be long today. I do have the chat off. I will look at the questions toward the end. But I just want to kind of come back on and talk a little bit about frequency and choosing our frequency and what that means. Because a lot of people feel like choosing your frequency means being around projecting good vibrations or being around positive situations or what you're deeming as positive, or being in situations that are uplifting, right? And there's a part of it that's that, but there's a lot more of it that goes into it that we really don't embrace, we really don't think about, we really don't fully understand until your body starts registering these frequencies more consciously. And that happens when you're not at the very beginning of ascension. At the beginning of ascension, maybe I have to start at a little bit of the beginning of how it's going to shift for you, right? Frequencies are going to start to be noticed to you, but you're not going to notice them as, you're not going to pick them out as precisely as you will later. But you start to notice things that make you feel good and things that don't make you feel good. You know, that's part of going through your awakening, starting your ascension. You start to read frequencies. You're just not reading them consciously. You're always reading them unconsciously. So I want to make that clear. Just because you're consciously not getting them, you're always unconsciously getting them, okay? So you can say to me, well, Annette, I don't, if I'm not getting it, am I just never getting it? You're getting it unconsciously, whether you know it or not, right? So all in your human life, you're getting all these frequencies that are lower frequencies. They keep your body more frequency, whether it's through TV, media. It's how it used to be, more TV media. Sometimes music would be a different frequency to kind of pull you out of a certain mood. Everyone always listens to me saying there's a couple songs that either take you back to a moment and can make you kind of relive it because it's hitting the frequency in your body where that memory lives. It's not so much the memory itself. The memory is in your cellular programming, which is unlocked by the frequency. That's why the songs can kind of take you back in time, in a sense. It's not a memorable place, and sometimes you just feel like there's soreness, because it's on a much higher frequency where you just feel good when you feel good when you hear it, but it doesn't unlock memories that might make you sad, like some other songs. Well, there's also, the song they play at New Year's Eve. What's it? Old Lang Syne, I think is what it's called. A lot of people have written a lot of articles about how that was constructed originally by the priests and priestesses of Lemuria. So when you hear that song, and not so much when you hear the song, if you read the lyrics, it is more profound actually than when you hear the song. Because when you hear the song, you also have to take into account that the vibration of the person singing the song does taint the frequency a little bit. So for that song, it's not going to be as pure because when you hear it. So if you go back and read the lyrics, you'll find that's a huge activation when you just read the lyrics. And listening to it too, but not quite as powerful. Because when people put their own voice to it, they put their own frequency to it, which changes the message. But as you start to awaken, you start to go beyond, this song made me feel a little sad because it reminded me of this moment. Remember, it's just unlocking the cellular DNA. That frequency is hitting that frequency in your body with that memory. It's unlocking it so you can release it. That's why that song comes on the radio when you need to release that. There are no coincidences. We program our reality to a T. We know everything that's going to happen. We know everything that needs to happen. We are our own destiny in a sense. We know what happens no matter which way we go, and our universe is trying to get us toward the highest vibrational path. Even if our human it's not comfortable for our human to go down that path. It's still the highest vibrational path we can walk down, even if it doesn't feel like to our human. So songs in the beginning will have this effect. And then you will start to notice as you continue to go through ascension that you start not most, but people, the vibration of their voice on your nerves. Certain people, you might like the vibration of their voice, but after a while you can't be around it anymore. Some people have a higher frequency than you. Some people have a lower frequency than you do. And if it's too high, people think because it's a high frequency, you can be around them all the time. And that's not always the case, because they're going to bring up stuff in your body that has to release for you to get to that frequency. So you might be able to take a little bit of it and then you can't take any more of it. That's why a lot of people will start listening to a lot of higher consciousness material in the beginning. They feel like they can absorb a lot of it. And they can, because their frequency is so low, it takes repeated listening to get your frequency up, even a little bit in the beginning, right? But then you hit that threshold where your frequency is right, and you're releasing a lot of their memories. Your body is going through that cleansing process. But that's not in the beginning, okay? So when you start having that start to happen, a lot of times we'll kind of start to take a break from it. Your body will almost say, give it a rest. Take a break. Don't listen to this anymore. Give it a rest for a while. Let your body clear. I know late last year and earlier this year, I went through that, where I kind of stopped listening to a lot of the stuff I used to enjoy because it became too much. My body had a lot to clear. I had to align the reality with it. So I had to kind of take a break and take a step back. But it's all vibrational resonance. And just because it's really high doesn't mean you're going to want to hear it. And just because it's low, it doesn't mean you might not want to hear it. Sometimes you are subjecting yourself to lower frequency stuff and you don't realize how much it affects you. And then you start to realize how much it affects you. Anytime you watch a lot of violence, there'll be parts of ascension you can't watch it because it's affecting your frequency. It's affecting your field in a sense. It's too much. And because of the vibrations a lot of the material carries, and if you look at in the collectives, what is everybody watching? What's everyone playing? Really violent stuff. I mean, I hear all the time, I don't care what it is, and every time I hear it, I guess it's my own little pet peeve. We need an adult Star Wars. We need an adult, some child brand, and it's not that it is just for children, but everything they want to take and make it hardcore. Let's make a hardcore Batman or a really hardcore Star Wars and a hardcore this and a hardcore that. Because everyone because they like that content, but they want it to be harder and harder and harder because they want to get that vibration out of it. And a lot of the stuff that has a higher vibration to begin with, they want to put a lot of violence and sex and all that stuff in it, call it adult, because they want a different frequency. That's what they're trying to get out of it. It's not so much the content, it's the frequency they're waiting for. And they want the frequency to match their frequency, or the frequency to match something in their body. It might not always be, we can't look at this as that's a good thing or a bad thing, because that's what some of the collectives are looking for. They're looking for it for a reason, whether it's to unlock something in their body to release it, whether it's to take them to a threshold where they can't do it anymore. There's a reason for it. So, but that's basically what it is. It's not so much they want to see it, they want to feel it. Take it back to how it makes you feel. That is how you start to really tune into the vibration of something. How does this make me feel inside? Not how does it look. It's not about how anything looks, it's how it makes you feel. So, we start to notice the differences. We start to choose. That's kind of another stage we go through. We start to choose, I like this, I don't like that. And like I say, it can work both ways. It's going to flip. You shift frequencies all day long, okay? If you think you start out in one frequency and you stay there all day, you don't. Now, that does not mean if you're in an 8th dimensional frequency, you're going to go back down to a 3. Normally, you're not going to go back down to the 300s if you're existing in the 800s. But you might dip down to the 600s. Your lows aren't as low as they used to be because your frequency won't go back that low. But it won't always stay in the ultra high. And you might be able to go up to a much higher frequency, but your body can't hold that, so you're going to come back down to more of a rest point. So I entitled this, You Choose the Frequency. Because we do choose the frequency. We choose what we listen to. We choose it. And in our human consciousness, we were choosing it because we liked it. I like that content. We're not connecting it with the frequency. We had no conception of that in our human consciousness. You start to gain that awareness. You start to understand that every frequency you're getting is affecting you, okay? It's either lowering your vibration, keeping you at a certain vibration, or it's making an attempt to increase your vibration. That's where we are. Now, a lot of people, I'm going to give an example. A lot of people were really into Bluetooth, and a lot of people still are into Bluetooth. When you listen to Bluetooth, and I had heard this, but I still had one back 2 years ago. I held on to my Bluetooth for a couple of years because it's convenient, right? Human consciousness makes everything of a lower vibrational frequency convenient, because our human loves convenience, right? I mean, that's how fast food was founded. It's convenient, everyone come do it. Everything that we love that is convenient, not so much. Alexa, convenient, you don't want it around you. I don't have it, I don't want it, I don't even like it to be in a house where it is, honestly, and be around it. You're gonna find, I totally lost my train of thought. I totally lost the frequency of what I was gonna talk about. Oh, Bluetooth. There it is, it's back, Bluetooth. I had a really big ear upgrade where my ears, I couldn't hear out of it about 6 weeks after I had it, the pain and all that, and went to different parts of my ear. And I remember, because I was only wearing my Bluetooth in my right ear, because I couldn't hear anything on my left ear anyway. So I didn't need to muffle any sound when I was at that. I would use them in the gym. When I was at the gym, I didn't need to muffle any sound because I couldn't hear out of the ear anyway. So I just used the right ear. And I remember when I would come out, and like I said, I had heard people talk about it for years, but I didn't want to give it up, right? The human consciousness story still a little bit of me was like, oh, I don't wear it that much, it's okay. When I would come out of the gym and I'd take it out of my right ear, I could feel how agitated my ear was, and I didn't have an left ear. And you don't really notice until you can come in, right? And for earphones, I didn't have that. So right after that, I completely threw away all my Bluetooth, and now I just have those old school plug-in earphones that I wear. And no, it's not as convenient because you got the wire and you got to snake the wire through all your gym clothes, so it's not bothering you when you're doing anything you're doing there. And it's not as convenient. But I know I feel the difference. Every time you're listening to that, you're subjecting yourself to frequencies. And a lot of times, if you pull it apart, you can see it. It's just pulsing and pulsing and pulsing frequencies. Look at all the stuff you expose yourself to every day. What content do you listen to? What music do you listen to? Who do you listen to? When you're listening to anybody, different people, what are you surrounded with all the time? You are choosing this. And when you start to be able to discern different frequencies, and like once I realized the Bluetooth for myself, I'd heard it, I was aware of it, but I hadn't experienced it. Once you experience it, then you have the choice, and like, wait, what am I going to do? And I'm like, I got to throw these away. Yes, they're convenient. Yes, I like them, but I have to throw them away because I don't want that in my ear. I don't want to hear that. Now, you're going to get to certain points where you can, like I went through the phase where I couldn't really watch a lot of violence. Now it doesn't bother me. I usually choose not to, but if I see it, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't like imprint. I used to like imprint. You would just see it all day long. You would see how it imprinted on your consciousness. The more aware you are, the more you see the imprints you're getting, But they're vibrational imprints. You start to feel it. You're like that scene of that person getting decapitated. I saw it all day long in my head. But you start to be able to clear it from your field a lot better. If I'm watching something and there's violence in it, it doesn't bother me. I might not enjoy watching it, but I'm like, it doesn't really bother me like it used to, because I can clear it really quick from my field. But a lot of times, your universe will start showing you this, you can understand. It's kind of the same thing with eating meat, not eating meat. It's the vibration of the food. It's not so much meat itself, it is, but it's the death energy of that. It's the how it was obtained, what the animal went through when it died. It's all imprinted on it. It's all a vibration of that. So a lot of people, after a while, they can't ingest it. I can't ingest a death energy. I can't eat it. Now, for a while, I don't know, 8 years ago, I guess, is when I went through where I couldn't eat it anymore. It'll start to, for a lot of people, it starts to taste raw, and you might even have hives. I started having hives. I would eat that. Because it is, and you start to see how agitated you would get, how annoyed you get, because that frequency is also matching your body, bring it up. And when you don't require it anymore, your body's saying don't eat it anymore. It no longer has a positive impact on your ascension process. And that's going to sound like contradictory to what I just said, but you have to remember that it's not black and white. It's ascension. It's just purples and blues and reds. It's all over the place. You're going to be shown to do certain things for a while because your body is trying to do something with that. It's either trying to show you something, it's trying to clear something. Like fluoride toothpaste. Don't use fluoride toothpaste. That's a big thing. Everyone say don't use fluoride toothpaste. I stopped using fluoride toothpaste eons ago. But lately, my body's like, get a fluoride toothpaste and use it once a week. I'm like, okay. A lot of times we have this kind of thing. You'll even hear yourself saying, oh no, we don't do that. We don't do that in Ascension. We can't do that anymore. When your body's guiding you to do something, you have to kind of flow with it that it knows better. In a sense, your consciousness knows better. And your human might say, no, your human starts to even put rules on it because it's still trying to keep you in a certain vibration. But if you're sure the frequency you're getting it from is pure, and normally you can tell that because it's not something you would normally do. Like it might tell you to go eat hot peppers, and you're like, I never eat hot peppers. That's weird. Why would I want a hot pepper? I don't ever eat hot peppers. It's normally going to be something really weird. It's a weird thing your body needs. It's the frequency of the thing. It's trying to do something with it. And you might not 100% understand what it's trying to do with it until you get to the other side of it. And it could just be trying to show you the effects of it. It could just be that. So it's super important to remember as you go through ascension, as you start to be able to feel the frequencies of stuff, feeling what makes you feel good, what doesn't, what's kind of keeping me non-feeling creative. I went through a process where I wasn't really feeling creative. There's a part of that's a template rewrite. There can be a part of that where you lose yourself in something else for a while, but then you're going to kind of get snapped out of it, and I got kind of snapped out of it in a pretty severe way. My universe was like, all right, enough of this. Now you need to move forward again. You've had your break. Now you got to go on and leave this on because it is affecting your frequency. It was okay for a while. Now it's affecting your frequency. There's a purpose. There's no purpose in it anymore. Every frequency has a purpose. When the purpose is gone, when the purpose is accomplished, when you're like, all of a sudden you're like, okay, I have fulfilled my purpose with this. My purpose is good. You will no longer need it. You will not be able to do it. So start to really pay attention of what you're allowing, the frequency of everything. Set in silence. So many of us don't set in silence anymore. They're scrolling their phone constantly, Always engaged and want to just continue to feel the vibration, the vibration of the phone, the content it's giving me, content, constant. You have no time to even calibrate your own frequency because you're so distracted with external sources to feed it to you. Feed me. And it's causing a big chasm in a sense. And disconnect. What started out as something to connect people has completely severed everybody now. And it's not so much the thing. It's the vibration of the thing. Vibration of what you're listening to. Vibration of how, are you even listening to yourself? Or are you just looking out to outsource your power to someone else? Like, oh, I have let me look at the internet and see. Let me go to a doctor, let them tell me. Are we even connected anymore? What's your own frequency? Your own frequency is going to look for a match, okay? And if it's not getting a match or higher than match, it's going to start to say, ooh, I don't like it. I don't like this. And it's going to start to giving you signals of that, signs of that. It's bothersome, it's grating, it's annoying me. Yes, it's helping you clear that stuff from the body, But how long, what is the shift where, okay, I've cleared it from my body, now I'm just hanging around because I don't want to leave. Now I'm just the last person at the party and I don't want to go because I'm afraid there's no other party next door, And that's what it quickly will shift into, if you allow it to shift into that. We go from it being something we're using it unconsciously, sometimes conscious, sometimes in the beginning very unconsciously, to now it's a hindrance. Now it's not comfortable. Your universe will make it comfortable because there's a purpose to it. Even if it makes you uncomfortable, there's some kind of comfort in it, right? And that's going to sound counterintuitive, but when you're in it, you'll understand it. When you're having this experience, I promise you, you'll understand it. But after a while, because sometimes it can be pushing you through your fear. Like we went to this one extreme where you can't be around anything of a vibration that's not yours. So you want to cut out everything because you now fear it. And until you say, no, my field can handle this. My field can handle this vibration. No, I don't want this vibration to come home and live with me day to day. But yes, I can go out and do this, and I will feel it or I won't feel it. There's a lot of I'm going to use the word discernment again, but there has to be a lot of discernment. And there's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of power in saying, okay, this way I don't feel like this is right for me right now. This is no longer serving me. Look at what's serving you. Really listen to what you're spending your day on. Listen to what you're listening to. What is around you? It is so critical when you get to this process to be able to pick it out, understand it. Is it serving a purpose, or am I just allowing it because my body doesn't want to continue to go up in frequency? You do not want a hard reset. I got a hard reset. You don't want that. I say that every time I've had a hard reset, a hard reboot. You don't want that. Really understand that you're choosing it. You're choosing to be on the phone all day. You're choosing to use Bluetooth because, hey, it's convenient. I know, I had the same thing. You're choosing the frequencies. You're choosing what you're exposed to. You're choosing what you believe. Look at how it angers people. You can see people who watch a lot of political things and how angered they get. And it brings up all that anger. Yes, because the frequency is matching that frequency in their body to bring it up. There's a purpose to it, but you can also see the consequences of it and what it does. And when they continue to expose themselves to it, it can clear for a while, but it also keeps them in that mindset. It can become kind of a loop where you can have the experience, understand what it was for, and once you can understand it and see it, it's time to get off the ride. It's time to end the reality. If you haven't ended the reality yet, it's because you don't want to let go of it. You're going to keep yourself in that frequency, and eventually the universe will reset you. Okay. Whether it can push you out of reality, it might all of a sudden, you might break an ankle, break a leg, or have some kind of thing that pulls you out of these realities. That seems harsh, but that can happen because you're trying to slow you down, get you out of it. Say, okay, you're not going to leave on your own. We're just going to leave you, and then by the time you are able to go back in it, your vibration will at that point be so discordant from it, you won't even be able to go back in. Your body won't be able to handle it. And our body is not able to handle really contradictory vibes for long periods of time. Like I said, if you're going out and you're going to do something outside, you're going out, and no one goes to the mall anymore, but the movies, it doesn't matter. And you're exposed to a lot of different things, you're going to notice it, but you can continue because you have enough in your field to sustain yourself while you're out. It doesn't matter, right? It takes a while to get there, but like I said, you don't want to also get in that other extreme where you fear everybody. You used to have that whole thing where I'm gonna energy vampires and I'm gonna protect myself. That's a big spiritual thing you'll see. You don't have to protect yourself. You have to look at your frequency. What are you exposing it to? Once you get your frequency to an extent, there's no protection. Okay, there's just, am I allowing it? Am I not? Do I want to listen to that? Do I not? Is that assisting my ascension or is it not? We can break it down. Is it conscious? Is it not? If you're not even sure of the frequency, what are they saying? You can see consciousness and not conscious. You can see semi-conscious. You can see, okay, the concepts are there, but the whole picture might not be there yet. I listen to a lot of people and I'll listen to what they're saying. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. There's some conscious there, but some things that'll be mingled into the wording. I'm like, no, but it's not 100% there yet. You know, to where the way I understand it. And I might get to a point where I understand it definitely later, but from the way I understand it, that's still a limited view, right? So there's a lot of iterations, there's a lot of frequency shifts, and there's a lot of things you're going to be shifting out, okay? You might even, like stuff you used to listen to, people you used to listen to, whether it be music, podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, all of a sudden you might turn around and go, I don't want to listen to any of those people anymore. Now I got all new groups of people I like to listen to. Because now this is supporting me. But no, you're exposed to it all day long. I mean, I can be listening to one thing and then they'll have the really loud, or watching something that's a certain vibration for me. Then a commercial comes in and it's so discordant, I almost have to just rip off my ear. I'm listening to it, but I have to take them out. I can't even mute it long enough. It's like, I can't even take it. It is so, it's so authentic. It's so, I can't listen to it at all. So, all right. I'm gonna check messages quickly. All right. I think that'll be it. I think we're gonna keep it short today. I don't know if I'll be back every week for the rest of the summer. Maybe. I've got a couple projects I really am trying to get finished. I've been trying to finish for a while, but it's now they become the forefront because I really need to put my energy into them. So if I can get back, I'll get back in a week or so. If not, I will be back when I get back. All right. Thank you so much, and I'll see everyone later.